Yo, what's up? Bob here. Welcome to the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. Last week, I made a video about the vinyl record that I have the earliest memories of. I was about 5, going through my parents' record collection when I discovered it, and I made a short about it last week. Check it out. This week, I'm going to be talking about the first vinyl record that I bought with my own money. Now, records had been in my life all along because of my parents, but I grew up in a period when cassette tape ruled music media. They were cheap, easily accessible. You could dub things off the radio onto blank cassettes. It was really cool for kids who didn't have a lot of money. That said, somewhere in the early 2000s, I started looking at vinyl records. I'm a guitarist, and I was looking for some heavy guitar titles that were easier to find on vinyl than on CD at the time. One day, I was walking to the Guitar Emporium, a guitar shop that used to exist here in town. Next door is a bookstore called the Book and Music Exchange, and in the window was this record. John Mayall and the Blues Breakers with Eric Clapton. This is a heavy record for guitarists looking to assimilate some really heavy blues licks into their playing. As a Les Paul man, this was incredibly important for me to find. You got Eric here on the front reading the Beano, being a bit of a prima donna on the day of this photo shoot. Let's go over the lineup. John Mayall on harp, harmonica, Mississippi saxophone, organ, vocals, right? You got Clapton, he's on the Les Paul. He does sing on one song. John McVie of Fleetwood Mac fame on bass, of course. And Huey Flint on drums, the gentleman here with the goatee. This record is known as the Beano album because Eric is reading the Beano comic here on the front. And this whole project is sort of a showcase for Eric's playing. He was becoming very famous at the time. He's in the Yardbirds. He's doing John Mayall. People are starting to refer to him as God. This is right before Cream. And there's some really trademark heavy tones on here that, quite frankly, people hadn't really heard before. Eric's using a 59 R60 Les Paul burst and a Marshall combo amp, a 212 combo, a 1961 or 62 model number. It's essentially a JTM 45 and probably personally given to him by Jim Marshall. It's about 45 watts and he's got it cranked. He's playing on the neck or on the bridge with the tone off, a very dark sound, the woman tone, if you will. And he's absolutely ruling. We got him on the back here with Beano. Beano is the Les Paul. That's what it's referred to as because it was used on this record. The Beano guitar and the amp were stolen. The amp he left on stage in a club, and it was eventually taken. And the Beano guitar also nicked from a club, probably the same club, and has never been seen again. It is one of the mysteries of all Les Paul lore. Now, there are some people that claim that it exists there on the East Coast somewhere. Maybe one day we'll find out. I suspect that Eric Clapton will probably have to pass away before that happens. That said, let's get into some of these tunes. Side 1, All Your Love. That's a Otis Rush and Willie Dixon tune, yeah. Hideaway, Albert King, of course. Little Girl, Another Man, Double Crossing Time, blazing solo in that song. Yeah. And of course, the Ray Charles classic, What I'd Say. Side 2, Key to Love, Parchment Farm, Have You Heard? That's a John Mayall song. Ramblin' on My Mind, Robert Johnson, of course. Steppin' Out, It Ain't Right. Awesome lineup of songs. In particular, some of the tunes like All Your Love and Hideaway have some of the most iconic Les Paul tones of all time. Big fat neck pickup tones, crank Marshall stuff. You go to a blues jam, you're probably going to hear some song off of this record. No doubt. Let's talk about the actual record for a second. Mine is a US on London. For my first vinyl record, I did pretty good. Pretty clean, I would say. You know, I wish I could catch it in the light. Yeah, I got it. Not much for scratches. It's not the quietest record. I've ultrasonicked it a few times, but it is clean looking. Originally, it would have came out on Decca as the record was recorded at the Decca Studios. Of course, it's called London here in the United States. And there have been various reissues and deluxe anniversaries and all that stuff. But you should be able to pick this up for around $25 to $35 in great shape. And it is worth every penny. It is the first record that I ever bought with my own money so that I could hear the sweet, sweet sounds of the mythical Beano Les Paul. If you know where that guitar is, be a man, come out with it. Yeah, everybody wants to know. So, until we meet again, that's right, folks. Bob out.